Yeah, hey, you pay off the right people in town, you know, you can make anything yours. So, no, man, it was hard fought. It was hard fought. I'm not quite 6'5", I'm 6'3", and there was a real effort made in trying to find somebody who was like physically exactly Reacher. And luckily there just wasn't any. Luckily he just doesn't exist. So they settled for me, but yeah, it was. I still remember where I was finding out. I was at a little cabin that I have in Georgia with my wife, and I remember walking in the bedroom. She's probably napping as usual, her probably second or third nap of the day, and I tried to rouse her. I just shook her gently. I said, "Honey," and she was like, "What? Honey, wake!" And she awoke with crusty eyes. What? And I said, I just found out we got Reacher. And she's like, "Good, close the door. Close the door and turn the fan on the way out. It's hot in here." And then I went in the living room by myself and cried. That's exactly how that story went. And but no, it was. But that journey was. It was a hard-fought one, and one I'll forever be grateful for.
The choice of actor was absolutely crucial. We felt, certainly I did. But I was in the weird situation. I was going to judge it by the first 2 seconds that I saw him on the screen test, because that's really what you need from Reacher. He needs to step on the screen, and immediately you need to sense who he is, what is he doing, what's he like. It has to be communicated wordlessly, just by attitude, by stance, by the look of him. So you know what it's like in the movie world and the TV world. You do these extensive screen tests and they read from the script and so on. But I was not interested in that at all. I just wanted that first impression, literally that first split-second impression. Alan stepped on screen in the screen test and I thought, yeah, that's the guy. Because something about just the charisma he radiated. And the more I got to know him and work with him, the better it got, because he does have that sort of charm. Reacher is a tough, tough guy, but he's also charming with it. He has a certain appeal, and Alan nailed that perfectly. And Reacher is very smart, and Alan nailed that too. And later on, talking to him, I found out that as a kid, he'd been a seriously good chess player. And that showed up, you know, that was what I was seeing. Here is a guy who sees 3 seconds ahead. You know, that's the key to Reacher. He knows what's going to happen 3 seconds before anybody else. And Alan had that. So, yeah, we were delighted to get him.
I was very lucky that Alan Ritchson found me on the Reddit forum, because he knew from the book they were looking for Polly, and he said to casting, "Hey, I found a giant, but figure out if he can act." And they put me through a real big process to giving me, actually, the 2 first scenes in episode 1 were my casting scenes. And I had to prove myself there. And I did. And it was very nervous because I did it. And then for 5 weeks, I didn't do anything. But it was because they already knew I was going to be it, but they had to get so many approvals on so many levels that I figured, oh shit, I didn't get the part. But that was my story, how I got Polly, yeah.
For me, I all due respect and appreciation for our showrunner, Nick Santora. I think when you read Lee Child's book, especially this one, The Persuader, my character is described as a 40-year-old Caucasian male. Oh. And Nick said, how about we open this up? How about not necessarily that you have to take risks, but let's find the best actor for this part and really try to elevate our series. And got to meet Nick and read for Nick, and you know the rest is kind of history. So kudos to him, and so much respect and appreciation that he's willing to just open up and really try to elevate, you know, as far as an artist and a creative soul. And I think that's what really kind of elevates this project in general. I think he really wants to expand. He's had, you know, blockbuster season 1, another blockbuster season 2. And, you know, in season 3, he really wants to just increase it even more and more and more. So thank you to Nick.
I had already seen the show, so I had an idea of the tone, and I would say I was already a fan. So I was very excited to tape for it. But I got sent the audition. I recorded it in my bedroom with my partner and sent off the tapes, and also tried my very best to do a half-decent Boston accent for the tapes. with the caveat of like, I will work on this, I will get this as good as possible, but here is my offering now. And then I had basically a recall over Zoom. I met Nick Santora, our showrunner, and he was lovely, and we talked about the character, and it was great to get more of Duffy from him and also put forward my thoughts for the role. And it was lovely. We were very much on the same page for what was then kind of another round of auditioning, and then I got offered the role and was flown out to Toronto.
Oh, do you remember?
Is that, I think at dinner.
Yeah.
Which is one of my fondest memories about this show. I think this was the post-COVID era, but for myself, one of the first projects to.
And I remember, oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I said, Fast and Furious. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
It's such a cliche. But...
No, it's okay. It's absolutely right. And I got to meet the largest man on the planet, which is, for me, something kind of amazing as well. But we had this beautiful dinner that we really missed, I think, as far as production is concerned. Usually we'd all kind of gather and have our dinner and meet one another. And we didn't have that since post-COVID, and this was the first time that we did. So it was wonderful to break bread, get to know one another, and really build that particular family moving forward.
And on set, it was, I couldn't give spoilers, but our main location, that was a great meeting as well. You know, we were in costumes, and I got to hear how he played Quinn for the first time. And I absolutely loved that, because that's not how I met him at all. You know? It's but his voice changes, and normally when I change my voice, it doesn't sound real anymore. So I never do that. And when you change your voice, it was like, damn, it was so real. That's how I met Brian for the first time.
On set, probably on some dark, cold Canada night, where we were stuck in the middle of the woods, pursuing bad guys. I think that feels accurate.
Yeah, it was. It was quite a while before our paths crossed. I was very excited to meet you.
Likewise.
Yeah.
I always love to, meet whoever is playing the other woman in the show. Yeah. There's only two of us. So it feels natural that we end up bonding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Prove your point.
Mr. Richters, we're looking into the owner of a rug import business called Bazaar Bazaar.
Let me guess. DEA thinks he's in business with bad people.
You know him?
I thought I killed him years ago.
What did he do to you?
He didn't do anything to me.
Maybe we can help each other out. I have a plan.
Undercover informant.
Mr. Richters, your record is impressive.
Bench press proves nothing. Elbow on the pad. Richters and I fought. Sorry, hand slipped.
Welcome to the team, Richters.
I'm in.
Tonight's your chance to prove you've earned your keep, Richters.
Exactly how much danger is this job putting me in?
Gotta get out of there.
How much time do I have?
I don't know. Who are you up against, Richters?
Long story.
How often do you do this?
Every so often.
I figured out why you do what you do. Because you hate the big, the powerful, who think they can get away with things. So you make sure they don't.
You just figured that out?